there's playing with your food, and then there's that.
I see it, and now it's all within my reach. I see it now, it's always been inside of me. And now I feel so free, and there's possibility. And there's possibility. And there's possibility. And there's possibility.
Everyone, and today I'm taking a look at RWBY Volume 2. Now, this review will contain full spoilers, so there we go. Now let's talk about the plot of this season. Well, there's 3 arcs going on, and I'll just talk about them one at a time. So for our first arc, there's Team RWBY trying to track down Torchwick and his gang, and they team up with Sun and a new character named Neptune. Neptune is alright in my opinion. He does have a crush on Weiss, similar to John, but unlike John, he's actually successful. Well, kinda. But he is afraid of water. Get it? Because his name is Neptune, and he's scared of the water. Get it? And yeah, now there are some things I like about this arc. First off, I do like the character interactions. In fact, this season is a whole lot better than Season 1, and that's mostly due to all the character interactions, and especially here. I like how everyone is put in a team of 2, with Weiss and RWBY going to Atlas to, get some data, because since Weiss is the heiress to the Sneed Dust Company, she can just get whatever she wants without any problem. And during this time, they find out, well, RWBY finds out that after bumping into Penny from the last season, and Penny saving her from a car crash, she finds out that Penny is an android. Yeah, I'm not even joking, and it is pretty funny in my opinion. And another thing that happens is Yang and Neptune go to a club, and it's just me, but how come the henchmen in the club look like Team Flare from Pokemon X and Y? Seriously, can I have these 2 images pop up real quick? Okay, thank you. You see what I mean? They look almost identical. And another thing that happens is that Blake and Sun, since they're both Faunus, go to the pep rally that Torchwick has with the White Fang. And I like this. I especially love how Torchwick puts on this different, emotions while he's around different people. Like at the rally, he acts sort of like a business person, and when he's around characters like, say for example, Cinder, he's kind of scared because Cinder will light him on fire. And when he's around Mercury and Neptune, he's all like, hey, you guys are just kids, so you better listen to your elders. I like that a lot. But because of this, they find out that Torchwick stole a freaking mech suit. That is awesome, but I'm wondering to myself, does Atlas even have security cameras? Because when we get to the next arc, you know what I mean. So yeah, and it leads to a fight where all the members of Team RWBY, because Sun and Neptune decide to be useless and just leave the fight to them, fight Roman in a giant mech suit, and it is pretty awesome. Until Roman is saved by Neo, who is actually pretty awesome in my opinion. She is a mute, but she is pretty awesome. Like for example, her hair is literally vanilla ice cream, and she fights with an umbrella, but she knows how to use it. And I especially love her theme. It's so good. I would play it, but I'm scared of copyright, so I'll just leave it down in the description, okay? And there are 3 other new villains this season, those being Cinder, Emerald, and what was the last one's name? I'm sure it was a boy. Adam, not you. Well, yes, you are in this season. You don't show up till the last 5 seconds, so get back in there until Volume 3, okay? That's right, you get back there. No, the last member is Mercury. Mercury and Emerald are just, Cinder's lapdogs, and they're fine for the most part. They are pretty cool with their powers. Well, not Mercury, but we'll get to that soon enough. And yeah, I like them. And also, Mercury gets voiced by Yuri Lowenthal in the next season, so that gives him some extra points in my book. But yeah, I like Cinder as a villain. She is pretty cunning and pretty fun to watch. Though I will say, I do like her plan how to sneak into the school, pretending with them acting as their foreign exchange students. That I thought was pretty smart. And also there is one other character, I forgot to mention, that being General Ironwood, who acts as sort of like a rival to Ozpin, but he's not. He is a part of, Ozpin's group of friends, but he's just like, hey, why isn't Ozpin telling me what to do? I mean, we're friends, he's keeping secrets from me. That's not cool. But I will say, I also like the fact that he's also a headmaster of Atlas School, and also the military leader of Atlas. That was also awesome in my opinion. I know, but still. And now let's talk about the second arc of this season, that being the dance arc. Well, there is another storyline happening, which is with Blake being all like, hey, why can't we just focus on the White Fang, even though we were about to find, Roman before Neo got him. But yeah, I do like the stuff with Blake, especially. I like that scene with her and Yang. In fact, I even like how Yang tricks her into coming into the room so they can talk privately, where she uses a laser pointer to get her in, because, get it? She's a cat. And I do like the scene between them. I especially love how Yang tells her, hey, you can worry about this, but worry about it later. I was worried about my mother, and almost got me and Ruby killed when we were young children. That I thought was a pretty cool scene. And then there's the dance arc with John, who is trying to ask out Weiss, but Weiss is not having any of that. And Pyrrha gives him advice, and Pyrrha is basically just telling him, hey, can we please go out? But John is too oblivious to tell. Seriously, John, I like Weiss and all, but you got this. Why not just hit that? I mean, you know what I mean? But there is a really cool scene where he does give advice to Neptune when Neptune says, I can't dance, that's why I'm afraid of asking Weiss out. I thought that was a pretty nice scene. And yeah, I also like the romance between him and Pyrrha. And let's just hope that their romance lasts a long, loving relationship, full of love and adventure together. Am I right, guys? Am I right?
Nothing bad ever happened.
Then there's the final arc of this season, where Team RWBY and one of their headmasters, or one of their teachers, go for, reconnaissance, and they're introduced to the greatest character in the entire show. The best doggy ever, Swy. Swy is freaking amazing, he is cute, and do not mess with him because he can turn himself into a fireball of death and destruction. Do not mess with Best Doggy. Also, there is one joke I really like in this arc where before Team RWBY is assigned with their teacher, I like how Ozpin basically tells them, yeah, I know what you girls are going to do. Even though I'm going to assign you to a huntsman, you're just probably going to sneak off and do your own thing. Well, just to make sure you guys don't break the rules, I'll just bend them for you just this one time. I like that. I like how it points out that cliche of characters not being told something to do, and then they do their own thing. I like that, how they point it out. And there's also another thing, I like how their teacher is that type of person who only eats and drinks coffee. Seriously, he drinks so much coffee, I'm pretty sure he has super speed that rivals Sonic the Hedgehog. But still. And I also like this really cool scene where RWBY is about to fire on some, Grimm, but he tells her, no, don't do that. Not all Grimm are, monsters. Basically, in case you don't know, the Grimm are sort of like the embodiment of negative emotions like anger, sadness, hatred, and all that stuff. And I like how they show that not all Grimm are mindless zombie-like things. I like that. And I also do like some of the interactions in this arc. And yeah, it's a pretty fun arc, and that's mostly what I can say. Now let's talk about my thoughts on this season. This season is a step above Volume 1 in a lot of ways. I'm not even joking. The animation has gotten significantly better. There are no more shadow people, as they're called. They have real background characters, and the animation just gets better as the show goes on. Though in Season 4, they do change to a different animation style, and we'll get to that later. And yeah, I do like how they fix a lot of the animation problems, especially with the mouth movement. There is only one time in this season where the mouth movement looked off to me, and that's in this clip right here.
Ren and Nora wanted to shadow the sheriff of a nearby village.
Like, seriously, what happened to Pyrrha's mouth there? It just sort of vanished. But other than that, the animation looks a heck of a lot better, especially in the fight scenes. My personal favorite fight of this season has got to go to the lunch fight at the start. In fact, can we have a little square at the top here with showing a little bit of the fight? Okay, thank you, editor of the video. But so I really love that fight, how each character uses simple foods like baguettes or watermelons, like how they normally use their weapons. I love that. Though it does confuse me on one thing. When it comes to bullet time weapons, weapons that fire from guns, like Ruby's scythe, does it fire actual bullets? You know, because they do show how it's able to kill off Grimm with one character having a freaking minigun as a weapon. But what happens if a character who uses a gun-based weapon is fighting someone else and a character gets hit by it? Does that mean they're, you know, it's going to go right through them like normal bullets, or is it going to stun them? Like, that's the one thing I'm confused about with weapons, honestly. But still, the fight scenes do get a lot better. Other than the lunchroom fight, I would say probably my favorite is the one where they fight the mech. I thought that was a really cool fight, how each character used their abilities at the right time. That was also pretty cool. And I especially like some of the new characters, most notably Neo. She's awesome, and she does get better in later seasons. Not too big of a fan of Neptune, though. I just find him kind of useless, really. And he does, and some of his humor doesn't work for me necessarily, but he's still fine for the most part. And I do really like the character interactions. They are really nice. My personal favorite, well, yes, it is the Blake and Yang scene. Another character interaction I do love is how when they first meet Swy, I love that detail where Blake is all like, "Oh, it's a dog. I should probably run away," because that makes sense because she is part cat. I just found that to be a little funny. And yeah, the new characters are fun to watch, and a lot of the old characters are cool. And also, I forgot to mention this guy in the last video, but Professor Hoffman, he leads Beacon Academy, and he is pretty dang cool. Don't worry, we'll talk about more of him in the later seasons, but still, for right now, he's kind of the quiet type. He likes to keep things quiet. So yeah, though this one scene I am kind of annoyed by when it comes to the whole when Cinder breaks in. I think I mentioned this earlier, but why are there no security cameras there? Seriously, Ironwood. If you're able to build a mech suit, why don't you just build a freaking camera to watch over? And also, there is a fight between Yang and Neo, where we see a mysterious masked swordswoman who saves Yang. I wonder who she could be, and this season talks about Yang's mother. I wonder who it could be. It's probably Uncle Crow behind that mask. I'm calling it right now, guys. I'm calling it right now. But yeah, for the most part, this season is fantastic. It has memorable action scenes, the story gets a lot more deeper, the characters are a lot more fun to watch. Heck, even the old characters still get more time to shine here. RWBY, Yang, Blake, Weiss, all of them are fantastic as always. And even Team Juniper does get a lot more to do here. And the romance between John and Pyrrha is still fun. And yeah, that's mostly what I can say for Volume 2. While I fully admit on a first viewing, Volume 1 isn't too great, this season more than makes up for it in my opinion. Seriously. If you haven't watched RWBY, go through Season 1 and just be like, okay, there, I got Season 1 done, and then check out Volume 2. Because this volume is so freaking epic, and just watch it, okay? So that being said, guys, join me in the next video where we talk about Volume 3, which is near perfect. And with that being said, I'm going to give RWBY Volume 2 a 9 out of 10. It is a lot better. And yeah, so see y'all later when we talk about Volume 3. See y'all later, and have a good day. Bye.